into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to my man Xavier Hall. Nice meeting you yesterday, my man. It was great chopping it up, talking about the Washington Commanders yesterday. Again, great meeting you, man. I appreciate the support on the channel, and hopefully we do get this win like you said we do. Hail to the Commanders. Thank you for watching and enjoy the video. What's good? Ran into my man here.
Yes, sir. Juan Gaddy. Hey, like and subscribe, baby.
Yes, sir. Hey, what you think about week 2 of the Lions, man?
Hey, man, I think we're gonna probably beat them probably like 31 to it's probably like 31-16.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be previewing the Washington Commanders Week 2 matchup versus the Detroit Lions. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So the Washington Commanders are set to hit the road for the first time this season, headed to Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan, to face the 0-1 Detroit Lions. So Washington, they're trying to go 2-0 for the first time since 2011. The Detroit Lions are trying to not start the season 0-2. After having a hard-fought loss, they came up ever so closely to beating the Eagles 38-35 in week 1. This is a huge game for both teams. Washington, huge game because we're still trying to change the narrative, and we're trying to go 2-0 for the first time in a while. And Detroit is trying to not go 0-2. They're trying to make it this season. You know what I'm saying? So this is a huge game, and I'm super excited for it. We're going to get into the injury report for the Detroit Lions first before we get into anything. Now, the Friday report is not out yet, and I'm recording this in the morning because I have something to do. This report, to start things off for the Lions on Thursday, Jonah Jackson, their guard, is dealing with a finger. He did not practice. Frank Ragnow, their star center, he did not practice. He's dealing with a groin and a foot. DeAndre Swift is dealing with an ankle. He did not practice. However, he said he is not concerned about it, but his Friday status is going to be important. But I don't think DeAndre Swift is going to miss this game. I'm going to practice, and I'm going to prepare as if Swift is going to be playing. Michael Brockers, he was limited on Thursday. Their defensive tackle dealing with a knee, so he more likely than not will play. Taylor Decker, their offensive tackle, dealing with the calf. He had a limited practice on Thursday, so he'll more likely than not play. And then the Lions safety is dealing with a hamstring. He's dealing with a hamstring. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. He had a limited practice on Wednesday and Thursday, so more likely than not he'll play. And then Amani O, cornerback, dealing with the back. He was limited on Thursday, so he'll probably play. And Julian Okawari, their linebacker, is dealing with a hamstring, and he had a full practice on Wednesday and Thursday. And as far as the Washington Commanders guard, Wes Schweitzer, he's dealing with a hamstring. He did not practice on Wednesday, and he did not practice on Thursday. So I'm not sure if Wes Schweitzer is going to play or not. I'm assuming he's not going to play. And then Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle, groin injury. He had a limited practice on Wednesday and a limited practice on Thursday. I believe Jonathan Allen is going to play. Cameron Curl dealing with the thumb. You know, he was out the first week of the season last week versus Jacksonville. He had a limited practice on Wednesday and a limited practice on Thursday. I believe Cameron Curl is going to play. Linebacker Jamin Davis, non-injury related. He was limited on Wednesday, full on Thursday, so I think Jamin Davis is going to be good to go. He has no injury problem, just some personal stuff going on. Trey Turner, guard, dealing with the quad injury still. He was limited on Wednesday and limited on Thursday, and I believe he's going to play. He played last week, and he looked really solid when he was able to stand in the pocket and pass protect. Out in space, not so much, but I believe Trey Turner is going to play. Cole Turner, hamstring, been out pretty much all of the training camp, really in preseason, and he wasn't there last week. He had a full practice Wednesday and a full practice Thursday. He's going to be good to go, and he's going to make his season debut, and I'm super excited to see what he has in store for us. And last but not least, Cole Holcomb, he's dealing with the quad injury also. He did not practice on Wednesday. He was limited on Thursday. I think Cole Holcomb is going to play. So that's the injury report for both teams. Now, let's get into some key matchups here. Key matchup number one for me is how is this Washington Commanders front four going to fare against this offensive line of Detroit if they play? Now, last week versus the Eagles, they have fared pretty well. Jordan Davis, that pass rush that the Eagles has, they did really solid against the Eagles off a defensive line. Jared Goff was only sacked one time, so we're gonna see if we can create some pressure against this really good Detroit Lions offensive line. The next key for me is going to be if we can stop the run. Remember last week versus James Robinson and Travis Etienne. No, they really didn't have a huge day, but they did have some really back-breaking runs, and they were able to run the ball really well on us. So DeAndre Swift coming off of a huge game, and even though he's dealing with an ankle, I think he's going to play. Can we stop DeAndre Swift? And they could sprinkle in a little bit of Jamal Williams. So the run game for Detroit can be really good. Two running backs, a really good offensive line. Washington could be in for a big trouble day if they can't stop the run. So that's the next key that I have for us, or key matchup I would say. Then I'm moving over to the Washington Commanders offensive side of the ball. Jeff Okudah, their third round pick, he is finally healthy. How is he going to fare against any of our wide receivers? Whether it's Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dawson, even Curtis Samuel, how is he going to fare against those guys? I think we can take advantage of their secondary. Their pass rush, led by Aiden Hutchinson, is still unknown. They just got 38 dropped on them in the first week, so we can score the ball. We can move the ball against the secondary. So how are we going to fare against Jeff Okudah and the rest of that secondary? I think we can have a big day in store if we continue to do what we did last week. Just move the ball, make good plays, make good play designs, and execute. I think we can have a good day to move the ball on the Detroit Lions. Now, the last key that I want to talk about, we talked about their offensive line versus our defensive line. How are we going to fare against their defensive line? I already mentioned Aiden Hutchinson, Michael Brockers. Though they got some solid pieces on that defensive line, they can get some pressure. So are we going to be able to hold up? Charles Leno did a really good job against Trayvon Walker last week. However, Trayvon Walker got switched to Sam Cosmi's side, and he started to create some havoc. Are we going to be able to stop Aiden Hutchinson? Are we going to be able to stop Michael Brockers? I think we can. You know what I'm saying? But it is going to be an interesting contest to see. But those are some of the key matchups that I want to see. I do want to see William Jackson versus Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Kendall Fuller versus Amon-Ra St. Brown and or DJ Chark. How are we going to stop TJ Hawkinson, who's one of the premier tight ends in the league? And that's one thing that we didn't face last week, is a really good tight end. So it's going to be interesting to see how we fare against TJ Hawkinson. I like TJ Hawkinson a lot. This Lions offense can put up points. If Jared Goff is given time and he actually can go through his progressions, he's going to make some really good throws. You know what I'm saying? This is an offense that's missing their first round draft pick in Jameson Williams, and it's already really good now how it is. So it's going to be a fun game. I really think this is going to be a shootout. If I'm being honest with you, it has the potential to be a shootout, I should say. Both teams have really good offenses that could score, so this should be fun to watch. Now you go over to how Washington could win this game. Number one, we got to score touchdowns and not field goals. Last week we did a really good job at this, and for the most part it was just big touchdown plays. I mean, you had a big deep shot to Terry McLaurin to bring us within striking distance. The first touchdown was actually, I'll take it back. The first very touchdown of the day was a long, methodical drive and a quick pass out to Curtis Samuel, so that's good. And then your second touchdown was to the back of the end zone to Jahan Dawson. Then you had two deep shots. So, I mean, we did move the ball really well, but I want to see if we can continue to cash in for 7. Can we continue to have long, methodical drives? No, hey, I'm not complaining if we get a one play touchdown or a 2-play touchdown. I'm not complaining at all, but I would love to have long, methodical offensive drives, milk the clock, and then finish it off with 7. Can we do that this week? We shall see. The next way the Washington Commanders could win this game is get pressure on Jared Goff. Come on, man. It's Jared Goff. Although he isn't the worst, we know when he gets pressure in his face, he is prone to make turnovers, man. Let's get some pressure on Jared Goff. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne up in that middle. Montez Sweat. James Smith-Williams coming off the edge. We got to force him into some uncomfortable situations, because once we can do that, that's going to help out the back end. and the linebackers that could probably force a turnover. Come on, man. It's Jared Goff at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Jared Goff doesn't scare anybody, and he's prone to making turnovers. Just look at that Eagles game. Pick 6 to James Bradbury. And yes, it was a little bit of miscommunications on TJ Hawkinson's fault and Jared Goff, but he's prone to turn over the ball. So let's make him turn over that ball this Sunday. All right. Moving on to the next way Washington can win this game, we're going to have to get off the field on third down. You know what I'm saying? If we can get off the field on third down and force the Lions to punt, we would be in really, really good shape. But the second we start to allow third down conversions, after third down conversions, the defense is going to get gassed and we're prone to give up a touchdown. We cannot have that, man. We got to get off the field on third down. And if we can do that, we will be in really, really good shape. Now, moving on to the next key the next way Washington can win this game is we have to limit the turnovers. We're not going to beat Detroit the same way we beat Jacksonville, because unlike Jacksonville, Detroit is going to capitalize off of these turnovers. Although we turned the ball over 3 times, we still was in striking distance because Jacksonville was shooting themselves in the foot. DeAndre Swift probably doesn't drop that Travis Etienne touchdown. Jared Goff probably doesn't overthrow Travis Etienne, or he doesn't overthrow Zay Jones a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think Jared Goff hits those because he's a much more accurate quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. We cannot throw the ball or turn the ball over 3 times and expect to win the game. We have to play clean football. We have to limit the turnovers. We have to get off the field on third down. We have to cash in on third down. We have to keep the drives going, and we will be in good shape. The last key that I have for Washington before I get my score prediction and we'll get out of here, Scott Turner, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Continue to do what you were doing. Last week, you had so much success on the first 2 drives through the air. Why switch up the game plan? If passing is what's working, what's killing this defense, continue to pass. Don't switch up your game plan if it's working. The only time you switch up your game plan is if you're having trouble with it. But if it's working, Scott Turner, keep your foot on the gas. Those are my keys to victory. Those are what I think Washington has to do to win this game. Now let's get to my final score prediction. I have the Washington Commanders actually winning this game in a very, very close game. I'd say the score is going to be 31-27. Washington wins and improves to 2-0 on the season. So yeah, man, there you have it. It's me, Juan Gotti. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section down below. What is your final score prediction? Let me know everything. It's been Juan Gotti. Don't forget to join the stream this Sunday. I will be live streaming the Washington Commanders versus Detroit Lions 1 p.m. See you guys there. It's been Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you pop, get you